Salutations fam, this is Arim from HaltessiaGaming, and in today's video I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the current Yugioh TCG format. So right out of the gate, here's the question that's on everyone's minds. Is the metagame becoming stale? Are we in a tier 0.5 format? Personally, I don't think we are at all. But then the question is, why is this such a common sentiment among the player base? Personally, I think it has to do with the current landscape of Yu-Gi-Oh! Being so drastically different from how it usually is. The top cuts of most tournaments are seeing representation of Eldritch and Emancipator. This isn't anything unusual, as it's expected that you'll see the most representation of what's considered the best decks of the format. The representation of the best decks are at an all-time high because something key: cost. IRL. Monetary resources make a very large impact on what decks people decide to play. There's also the factor of supply and demand. Sometimes people will be willing to spend on the deck, but won't be able to find a trustworthy vendor to sell them the cards, someone to trade them the cards, etc., etc. People very often will use online environments to playtest what decks they're playing IRL. And since everyone can play the best decks, a lot more people are playing the best decks. On top of this, people are playing a lot more than they usually would. Normally, in order to play in an event, they have to be able to travel to the event, and there's a level of planning that goes into attending the event. Using myself as an example, if I want to go to a major event, I have to plan out travel time, hotel costs, etc., etc. But with an online event, I just need to have the free time to play in the event, and I just need to sign up for the event. With the state of the world right now, everyone has a lot more free time to host and play in events, and as such, players are playing far more matches against the best decks because they're playing more matches as a whole. Assuming you are a player who entered your locals every week and entered a regional like say once a month, let's assume that in each local you play 4 rounds of Swiss and 9 rounds of Swiss in each regional. Let's assume that because of the barrier to entry, 2 out of 4 of your local matches each tournament are against a tier 1 deck. And let's assume that at regional, since there will be a higher level of competition, that you're playing 6 out of your 9 matches against a tier 1 deck. In this IRL example, 14 out of your 25 matches are against a tier 1 deck. You're still playing the majority of your matches against a tier 1 deck, but you're playing 14 matches. But in this online format, more people can enter tournaments. People can enter more tournaments, and more people can play the best deck. Because of this, a player that might encounter the best deck 14 times over a month will now be encountering that same quality of deck 2 or maybe even 3 times more in this environment. This means that you're going to be getting tired of seeing those decks so much quicker because you're playing against these decks so much more. And this brings me to my next topic. These decks that people feel are over-centralizing and making the meta stale are nowhere near close to the multiple year formats that we've experienced in the past. Secret Slayers has only been out for about a month, and the Crush Card Cup, it only lasted about a month. The reason I don't feel that the meta is stale is because I don't really feel that it's possible to become stale, because the meta, in addition to not having been around that long, is also changing so quickly and so drastically. We've had like 3 different formats in just this 1 month. At the beginning of, this like Crush Card Cup type thing, Invoke Shaddoll was a tier 1 deck. Salamangreat was like a top tier deck. Rocket Dragon Link was a top tier deck. And even though over the course of the month, Eldritch and Emancipators have been like dominant decks, they've changed so drastically over the course of the month. We've had Eldritch, when it first was being played, it was this kind of like floodgate style trap based control deck, right? And then, as people realized, hey, we don't really use our normal summon, you had like invoked Eldritch, and then there was Lightsworn Eldritch to use right into mill their stuff into the graveyard to generate advantage off of that, and then make needle fiber plays, and then that eventually transitioned to you know, the Auroradon combo Eldritch, and again, that's like 4 different variations of the Eldritch deck in this 1 month. And so, like, the question then becomes, well, is it just that Eldritch is too dominant and too represented? And, like, honestly, I have to disagree with that, too, because the data just doesn't back it up. It seems like every single time I'm looking at a top cut, I'm seeing new decks and strategies. Every single time I'm watching, you know, a feature match or something like that, very often in the top cuts, I'm seeing a bunch of different decks, you know? I've seen, let me think. I've seen Zombies top, I've seen Dinosaurs top, I've seen Medolce's top, I've seen Invoke Mekk-Knight, I've seen Orcus, I've seen Mermels, I've seen Zodiac, I've seen just so many different decks making top cut, so much variety. Oh yeah, I've seen Salamangreat top too, and that's another deck that's changed like 3 different times over the course of the format. Like, we've seen Rainbow Neos being used in serious competitive play. Like, this isn't like, you know, round 1 feature match. Like, we've seen Rainbow Neos being used in serious competitive play as answers to, you know, tier 1 meta decks. It's crazy. I just can't see a format where everything is changing so drastically and so quickly with so much variety in these top cuts. You know, I could understand if it was like every top 16 and all 16 slots were the tier 1 decks, you know, or even like half of them, but that just hasn't been the case. You know, yeah, you'll see Adamancipator and Eldritch in every top cut, but like, you know, that's to be expected, you know, if those are the best decks of the format, that's what you can expect to see in the majority of your top cut. But it's like, even though you're seeing, you know, Eldritch and Adamancipator in the top cut, you're also seeing, you know, a bunch of other decks because there's just so much variety in the format. One of the things I want to do is, like, I want to go through, like, you know, even the Crush Card Cup, like the top 16, you know, deck list, right? So, you have Adamancipator first, you have Eldritch, combo Eldritch, Auroradon Eldritch in second place. This is, you know, another combo Eldritch. What is this? This is like Magician Souls combo Eldritch. And then this is Invoked Eldritch. This is Adamancipator. Can we talk about how I've only seen Adamancipator twice? Oh, and then you have like my personal fave from the Crush Card Cup was this this zombie control deck with like you know, with like Super Poly and like Zombie World and all this other crazy stuff. Okay, so we got Adamancipator. What is this? This is another Eldritch. We're seeing a lot of Eldritch. Eldritch. Invoked. What is this? Is this just an Invoked? Oh. Oh, no, this is Mekk-Knight Invoked. This is Mekk-Knight Invoked, and this is like Altergeist. Altergeist with Rainbow Neos. What is this? This is Lightsworn Eldritch. This is, hold up. Oh, this is Zodiac. This is Zodiac. This is Salamangreat. And this is, I want to say, Combo Eldritch. Yes, this is Combo Eldritch. So, Eldritch is definitely the most represented deck, but it's like, there was like 3 different versions of Eldritch. And then, like, we also saw, like, Salamangreat, Zodiac, you know, Zombies, Altergeist. I still, wait, this cannot be Altergeist. This is Altergeist! Like, and it's like, that's what, like, okay, so you have 3 different versions of Eldritch. You have Adamancipator, you have, Altergeist, Zombie, Mekk-Knight Invoked, Salamangreat. So, out of the top 16, you have 8 different decks. That's pretty crazy for what people are saying is a quote-unquote, you know, 1 deck format, right? it's crazy. And then it's like, even if we like just go like, oh, like we ignore that there's like 3 different builds of, you know, Eldritch and just like count Eldritch, that's still like, you know, like 5 different decks in like, you know, the top cut. And it's just so crazy to me that with so much variety and like so much, like everything's just changing so drastically, because even like that was like, you know, at the the ending of the Crush Card Cup, but now we have like I think like there's like Adam Emancipator is shifting to like what is it, the Megalith deck? It's everything's just changing so quickly, and it's like even if I would say that we were in a stale metagame, we don't have to really worry about it because it's gonna change in a week. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up my thoughts on it. If you have like your own thoughts about it, I want to generate discussion. So, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And with that being said, I gotta show a little bit. So if you like this video, please, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel and all that jazz. Maybe consider watching some of my other videos. But anyway, this has been Darkslayer Arim. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.